Have you ever looked at a particular style, a unique hobby, or, I don't know, even a rebellious choice, and wondered, what's really going on there? Like, is it pure passion or maybe something else entirely?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, today we're taking a deep dive into the fascinating, often misunderstood world of bobber motorcycles.
Ah, bobbers. Yeah, those stripped down bikes.
Exactly. Those distinctive custom bikes, known for their minimalist look and, well, that rebellious spirit.
Yeah.
We're aiming to go beyond the surface today.
Right. Challenge some assumptions.
Yeah, and get straight to the heart of what drives these riders. Okay, so our mission is to kind of unpack the motivations and the counter arguments from this really raw, honest interview.
Okay.
It's titled, Are Bobber Riders Just Pretending? And it's pretty candid. You've got a bobber rider basically put on the spot.
Defending his passion.
Totally. Against some pretty sharp criticisms.
Yeah.
Everything from ego tripping to just being completely impractical.
What really stands out, I think, is how this deep dive quickly moves beyond just the motorcycles themselves. It kind of becomes an exploration of identity, doesn't it? Rebellion, and the surprising ways people find meaning in what they choose.
Yeah.
So we're going to pull out the essential arguments, the back and forth from this interview, help you understand the why behind the whole bobber attitude.
Right.
It's like a unique chance to look at a subculture that's often judged from the outside.
Totally judge.
And try to grasp its internal logic, or maybe its deliberate defiance of logic.
Yeah, that defiance part feels key. So the interviewer in our source material, she really doesn't hold back at all.
No messing around.
None. Dive straight into those tough questions. Lots of people probably wonder about bobber riders, but maybe don't say out loud.
Okay, like what?
Well, the very first accusation she throws at him is pretty common. Bobbers are just ego machines.
Ah, okay. The ego trip.
Yeah. Loud, uncomfortable, and impractical. Basically a midlife crisis on two wheels. That's pretty direct.
Ouch.
And then she asked, do you agree that most bobber riders are just flexing? It's like, boom, straight at his motivations.
And his response, it's incredibly telling, actually, because he doesn't really shy away from that flexing accusation. Not at all.
Really? He owns it.
Pretty much. He basically says, and I'm quoting here loosely, flexing, sure, but hey, at least we're honest about it.
Huh.
He goes on like, cars flex, sneakers flex, why not motorcycles? If my ego rides on two wheels, that's better than rotting in traffic with the AC on.
Wow. Okay, so he's immediately reframing it.
Exactly. He normalizes it, puts it in this much broader cultural context where, showing off is kind of part of countless consumer choices.
Right. Like, why single out bobbers?
Precisely. He's challenging that idea when so many other things we buy or do are also forms of self-expression, maybe even ego.
That's a sharp observation. He's not just owning the flexing part. He's recontextualizing it, saying riding his ego on two wheels is more, authentic, more alive than sitting in traffic.
Yeah, it's almost defiant.
It really is. A statement about how he chooses to live versus maybe how others do. Yeah. It does make you wonder, if ego is involved in lots of choices, why do we judge some forms of expression so much more harshly?
Exactly. Where do we draw the line? Yeah. Is flexing always negative, or is it just a universal human thing?
Yeah.
And why do we judge certain forms like a bobber more harshly than, say, an expensive watch?
Good point.
The bobber rider certainly makes a strong case for his choice being, deliberate. An active way of living that proudly displays his identity rather than hiding it.
It's almost like embracing the perceived superficiality.
Yes.
And turning it into a kind of honesty.
Spot on. It's quite a twist.
Okay, so speaking of authenticity, the interviewer then shifts gears. Moves on to another common critique. The hypocrisy of minimalism.
Ah, the minimalist angle. Right.
She points out, bobbers are supposed to be minimalist, right? Stripped down to essentials.
That's the look.
But isn't it hypocritical that people spend lakhs customizing them just to look old school? Is it minimalism or just a money show? That really hits at that perceived contradiction.
Yeah, how can it be minimalist and expensive? That's the crux of it.
Exactly.
And a key insight comes out in his counter-argument here. He directly challenges that narrow definition of minimalism.
How so?
He says something like, minimalism is about stripping the ride, not your wallet.
Okay.
If someone spends on a bobber, that's their art. Don't call it hypocrisy, call it obsession.
Obsession. Interesting word choice.
It is. He deliberately separates the money aspect from the aesthetic principle. For him, stripping down is about the machine itself, its form, its function, not necessarily about being cheap.
I see.
And by calling it obsession, he kind of elevates it, doesn't he, to this level of deep passion, dedication, almost like chasing perfection in that stripped-down form.
So it's not about being frugal, and it's about ruthless prioritization, intentionality.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
You strip away the unnecessary stuff, but the parts that stay, those are chosen with immense care, passion. It's like a specific kind of art.
Mm-hmm. The bike is the canvas.
Right, and the artist spares no expense to get their vision right. This view really challenges the idea that minimalism has to mean cheap.
It definitely does. It suggests it can also mean a really intense focus on what truly matters to the creator or the writer, regardless of the cost.
Yeah.
And this invites us, the listener, to think about how we define values like minimalism or authenticity in our own lives.
Sure.
Is the real value in not spending money, or is it in the deliberate choice, the personal investment? The Barber writer suggests it's the latter.
That the obsession to create something unique,
even if it costs,
is where the meaning is. It's personal art, a statement of individuality, and just rejecting the idea that passion always has to be practical.
Exactly. A rejection of practicality seems central here.
That distinction really shifts how you see the whole subculture. But okay, the interviewer doesn't let up.
Keeps pushing.
Oh yeah. Next, she dives straight into that classic gatekeeping question. Are bobber riders even real bikers?
Ah, the real biker debate. Always a hot topic.
Isn't it just? She says, critics say bobber riders aren't real bikers. You don't tour like cruisers. You don't race like sport bikes. You don't go off-road like adventure bike riders. So what are you, really just posers?
Wow, that's a direct hit, questioning their whole identity within the biking community.
Totally.
And his answer here, it's a masterclass in just affirming your identity, real confidence.
What did he say?
He says something along the lines of, real bikers ride what they love, not what others approve.
Okay, simple enough.
But then he adds, if you think I'm a poser, good, that means I've triggered you enough to notice.
Whoa. Okay, that's bold.
Isn't it? It's so powerful because it completely flips the criticism. He's not looking for external validation at all.
He's almost welcoming the poser label.
Yeah. Embracing it as proof he's made an impact. It's like an active rejection of those neat little categories.
Cruisers, sport bike, ADV.
Right. And it's a defiant assertion of self-definition. The act of triggering someone else actually becomes confirmation that his identity is unique, visible, impactful enough to get a reaction.
That is a bold flip. He's not just deflecting the criticism. He's using it. Using it to validate his unique identity.
Pretty much.
Suggesting that being misunderstood or even rejected by the mainstream is actually part of the appeal.
Right.
It makes you think how many subcultures kind of thrive on that exact dynamic, defining themselves against what they're told they should be.
Absolutely. Their distinctiveness gets solidified precisely because they don't fit neatly into existing boxes.
Yeah.
It really highlights how identity is often formed in opposition, doesn't it? Sometimes being told you're not X just makes you more fiercely Y. The Barber writer is basically defining his own rules for being a real biker. Rules based on personal passion, the ride experience itself, not on whether you fit a specific function like touring or racing.
He's actively creating the criteria for his own subculture.
Yes, asserting that his internal experience is what truly matters.
Okay, so the conversation then takes a very practical turn. Or maybe impractical turn, especially thinking about a place like India.
Ah, the road conditions argument.
Exactly. The interviewer challenges him. Let's get real. Bobbers are low, stiff, single-seaters.
Not exactly built for comfort on rough roads.
Right. She says, on Indian roads full of potholes, speed breakers, and, those triple-seat makeshift arrangements you see.
Yeah, a common sight.
Aren't bobbers the dumbest choice ever? It's a very specific, grounded critique, moving from abstract identity to concrete, everyday reality.
And his response is incredibly clear here, almost like a philosophical statement, really laying bare the core of the Bobber ethos as he sees it anyway.
What's the gist?
He says, exactly. That's why it's not for everyone.
Okay.
Bobber is the rebellion against practicality. If you want sense, buy a scooter. If you want madness, ride a Bobber.
Wow. Okay. That's it right there, isn't it?
Yeah. That's where the core of the ethos really shines through, I think. It's not about logical utility. It's a deliberate choice for an aesthetic, an attitude that defies common sense.
The impracticality is the point.
Yes. It becomes the badge of rebellion, something to be embraced, not overcome.
That's such a stark contrast. He's basically saying the drawbacks are features, not bugs.
Precisely.
You don't buy a bobber despite its limitations, you buy it because of them. Because it stands against everything mundane and sensible. It's a powerful statement against conformity, especially in a world that often pushes efficiency and logic above everything else.
It really is.
It makes you think about the appeal of choosing something deliberately inconvenient, maybe even challenging, just for the pure satisfaction or meaning it gives you.
And zooming out, this really invites us to consider where we draw that line between practicality and passion in our own lives.
Right.
How much comfort or convenience are we willing to sacrifice for something we deeply love, or something that expresses a core part of who we feel we are? This writer suggests that sometimes the greatest meaning is found when you deliberately choose that madness over sense, and that choice itself is a profound act of self-definition.
It's a call to question the defaults, isn't it?
Absolutely. Question the default settings of our lives.
That's a truly profound idea.
Yeah.
Now, okay, the final criticism she brings up is very modern, very relevant today. The social media aspect.
The Instagram effect.
Exactly. She asks, be honest, isn't the bobber scene today just a glorified Instagram filter?
The curated image.
Writers posing with leather jackets, vintage helmets, black and white reels. Is it writing or just content creation? This really touches on that perceived superficiality of online culture and whether it kind of dilutes the real experience.
Yeah, that's a common concern with many hobbies or subcultures now.
For sure.
And again, the writer gives a pretty nuanced, pragmatic perspective, doesn't just shy away from the truth of it.
He acknowledges it.
Yeah, he acknowledges both sides. He says something like, both. A ride without a story is just distance.
Okay, interesting distinction. Ride versus story.
If Instagram keeps bobbers alive, so be it. At least we're creating culture instead of just consuming it.
Wow. Okay. So he doesn't deny the role of social media.
Not at all. He integrates it, sees it as a vital component, actually.
So the story, the narrative, the pictures, the shared stuff online is as important as the actual miles ridden.
That's what he seems to be saying. For him, Instagram isn't just vanity, it's a tool. A tool for cultural preservation, even creation.
Keeping the subculture visible.
Yeah, helping it thrive, evolve, maybe engage new people.
That's a fascinating take. Elevating content creation to a form of cultural creation. He's not just saying it's both. He's arguing that crafting the narrative around the bikes and the lifestyle is an active contribution, not just passive consumption or superficial posing.
Right. It challenges that knee-jerk idea that anything shared online must be somehow inauthentic.
Yeah.
He's suggesting the digital world can be a powerful extension of a community's identity.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? In our super digital world, how much does a subculture's existence, its future, depend on its online presence?
That's the big question. It makes us reflect on how authenticity itself is evolving in the digital age.
True.
How do these online platforms shape and sustain subcultures? Is documenting and sharing your passion online watering it down? Or is it actually vital for its survival and evolution?
And the bobber writer suggests it's dynamic.
Yeah.
An interplay.
Exactly. Where the story created and shared online becomes integral to the whole experience, helping keep that spirit, that passion alive for the next generation.
So, okay, let's try and wrap this up. What does this all really mean? Our deep dive into bobber culture seems to show that for these writers, the very things critics point to,
The ego, the obsession.
yeah, the customization obsession, the deliberate impracticality, especially somewhere like India, even the big social media presence, these aren't seen as flaws by them.
No, they're essential elements.
Yeah.
Core to their chosen path.
As the writer himself put it right, it's not for logic, it's for attitude. It's this deliberate rebellion against practicality, a pursuit of, well, madness over mere sense, and a way to actively create culture, not just consume it.
And stepping back from bobbers specifically, this raises a really important question for all of us, I think.
Yeah.
In a world that so often demands conformity, demands rational choices, where do you choose your madness over sense? Where do you embrace an obsession, maybe even a bit of ego, in chasing something you deeply love? Even if other people call it impractical or flashy or just for show.
How much of your true self are you willing to put out there?
Exactly. Even if it means triggering others, having them notice and maybe even label you a poser, it's a tough question.
It really is. Well, we hope this deep dive has given you a unique shortcut to being well-informed about the spirit of bobber culture.
And maybe spark some new thoughts about what really drives passion and identity for people.
Until next time, keep digging deeper into the stories that truly intrigue you.